Okay, hey everybody. Okay, I gotta go. We're back on in 20 seconds. Wait. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Welcome back to the Peak News. I'm Hein Goldman, the Watchman. You're listening to AM 1460 and FM 101.1 The Answer. And today is Media and Education Day, and so happy when we can bring them together. It's sort of rare. You know, on any other day, business and culture works, politics and government basically always works, faith and family always works. Media and education, we tend to have media or education, but because we're bringing those worlds together here at the Peak, because not only do we have a radio news program and a website, podcast, but we have an internship program that we've had from the very beginning. In fact, James, our intern, James Fiddler, not here on the board today, but is Monday through Wednesday. He has been with us since basically when we launched, and a couple months ago, he was offered a job here at Salem Radio. They saw how much he was hustling, how much he was doing, how faithful he was, and that's what it takes. That's what internships are about. Get you in the door, you get the work, you get the experience, and you know, when a company is looking for somebody, if you're there proven already in the door, that's it. And so James, at the age of 20, is working in professional journalism as well as going to college and the 26 other jobs James does, because James is a really hard worker, but we're proud of him. And we're bringing in more interns, and we're developing out through our educational foundation a journalistic ethics and media vocational training program. And so we're putting all that together and bringing media together, and we have one of our interns here as our guest and co-host of the show today, Audra Gapper, who is focusing on investigative journalism, and we'll be getting a report from her about homelessness among local youth. That's what she's working on, and what it's been like researching the story. And now she's here for our headline segment. So Audra, thanks again for being on the Peak today and for your work here at the Peak. So I like doing this one. This next one is giving me a lot of joy reporting this, because the media, out of everybody, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more at the end of the program, but I want to do this in the headline segment, because right before the elections, when all these newspapers that are generally endorsing candidates, and most of the time the ones in big cities, especially the big influential ones that everybody knows about, endorse the Democratic candidate, liberal candidate. And this time around, other than the New York Times, like they started falling away. They started, you know what? We don't know if it's right for a newspaper to endorse a candidate. We've been doing it for 30 years, but we don't know. And it was really a sign of a lot of things, but especially now after the election, with all that people are realizing, wow, did the media just lie and lie and lie throughout? The head of the Los Angeles Times, who got his editorial board very upset when he decided that they would not be endorsing Kamala Harris, came out with a tweet, an X yesterday, saying this, and his name is Dr. Patrick Soon-Shiong. He's a billionaire doctor. He said, quote, "Proud that we posted this letter from one of our readers on X. When the president has won the vote of the majority of Americans, then all voices must be heard. Opinions are just that. I will work towards making our paper and media fair and balanced so that all voices are heard and we can respectfully exchange every American's view, from left to right to center. Coming soon, a new editorial board. Trust in media is critical for a strong democracy." And that is the owner of the Los Angeles Times, who bought it back, I think, in 2017 for $500 million, for $500 million. Jeff Bezos, who owns the Washington Post, has said similarly. What is going on? Why is it that newspapers are suddenly realizing that they need to be journalists? Could it be that the American people are not buying it anymore literally, meaning the money is flowing away? There's not the money in it. CNN is down. They're going to start firing people, laying lots of people off. This whole thing where journalism, and I've said this before, I hate that there's such a thing called conservative news talk. There should just be news and news talk. There shouldn't be conservative. We don't have liberal news. You know why? Because that's the mainstream media. That's what it's become. But they're understanding the people who own these papers, and maybe the Gazette will get that. Maybe the Indy will get that here in town. That they have a sacred right to, as Mr. Dr. Soon Chiang said, to respectfully exchange every American's view from left to right to center. And it seems like they're getting rid of their editorial board if they haven't left already. Audra, what do you think about this? Things are shifting.
I think it's a good shift. When things go left, right, and they don't stay constant, it's really hard to get like the right message out there without it being super biased.
Yeah, partisan.
Yeah. It also just helps, the younger generation kind of see that, maybe you should listen to the news once in a while to get correct information, and it's not just political, like, to one way or the other. It's actually news.
Okay, and we need that, and we know that, and that's what we're trying to do here at the Peak. Well, let's get into some educational news. Colorado Springs Elementary School lockdown triggered by hoax, report of armed man. This was a couple of days ago. Colorado Springs police are saying that a scary report of a man with a rifle near an area school Tuesday appears to be a hoax. Colorado Springs received reports about 11 a.m. of a man with a rifle outside Ridgeview Elementary School. However, after responding and investigating, police say this incident appears to be a hoax, and it seems they're investigating that and would prosecute the people doing this. Man, with all of it, the fear already in the schools, for somebody to do this and to make people scared, just don't do stuff like that. I mean, sometimes hoaxes or April Fool's stuff can be fun, but when it gets into the police having to come out and bring anti-terrorist teams or whatever, let's chill on that. What's your take as someone who's currently in school and has to deal with this threat when you go to school?
Well, I see it every day. We have lockdown drills for a reason, but it's scary to know that like people just don't think about that and that it's not a big deal really, because it is. Like, kids, they're like the youth, the next generation, and their safety is important, and when you make the police come out, that's really kind of scaring the kids as well and traumatizing them. So it's not just the person and the police, it's also like the kids that are being affected by this.
Right, and know that even if these things, and thankfully in Colorado Springs, this has been a rare occurrence of there being a real threat, but what our youth went through, under COVID was so stressful, and now with all of this, it's so stressful. So let's do better on taking care of our children, and I hope that they deal with whoever did this, catch them, and do that. Okay, final report. Colorado received record-breaking number of safe to tell reports in 2023-2024. We tried to do this report yesterday, ran out of time, but it fits into today. A record-breaking number of reports were submitted to Colorado's anonymous reporting program, Safe to Tell, according to an annual report released Tuesday by the Colorado Attorney General's Office. 28,218 reports were submitted in the past 12 months, with suicide, bullying, drugs, and school threats leading the list of concerns. I asked Audra before the show, are you familiar with this? She said, yeah, the contact info on it is on my school ID. So we have about a minute. What's your experience with this, and what's going on? I mean, are you seeing a lot of things that need to get reported even in your school?
Well, I know it's a big issue, and I know kind of Safe to Tell. I don't think it's stressed enough on the purpose of it, and I think it's important that it's stressed more. Like, we have so many assemblies that we could be talking about, like, these things without traumatizing kids, and just giving them an outlet to, like, make sure they're safe. Like, that's what Safe to Tell is for. It's for people to, like, anonymously say if there's an issue. And there are issues. Like, even last year, like, there was a lot of problems at my school, and, like, a lot of people got bullied. I wasn't one of them, but I saw it every day. And having, like, that outlet for someone to, like, say something wrong and for them to actually do something is really powerful. And really, they should be able to talk about it without, restrictions.
Well, unfortunately, this is going up, so talk to the children in your life about this. It's a shame that we have to have anonymous tip lines for stuff like this, that people can't just deal with it themselves, but unfortunately, this is the world we're in. Hi, I'm Goldman the Watchman. When we come back with our intern, Audra Gapper, she's going to be giving a report about the place on youth homelessness. You're listening to The Peak. We'll be right back. Cool.
How did I do?
Good, very well. Thank you. Feeling comfy?
Yeah.
Okay, so get your notes out, keep your energy up. What's up?
Zach says he can't access it now.
Oh.
Problems.
I didn't realize he was jumping in to start it on Facebook on
Yeah,
his end, so when I did it at the same time, that's why it wasn't
I
working.
didn't realize it either. He wrote something about I got it, and I had no idea what that meant.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
What he meant, he was going to take care of it.
Oh, okay.
And I thought he meant that he was seeing it, because the last thing he said is he's not seeing the live stream, and then he said, I got it.
Well, and then I blew out the RMTP link and the key because I'm like, it's not working. Okay, troubleshoot mode. No, it's just not working because he was logged in at the same time.
Okay.
So now I got to fix it because he can't see it with the new RMTP link that it generated.
So pace yourself. I'll give you the time cues.
Yeah.
Keep the energy up. Try to segment it, tell the story, and then.
Hey Zach, hey, so
But you be passionate.
I've got it pulled up here. I'm thinking for this to work, at least in this exact instance, let me just try to do it from here. And I'm just going to put in just a placeholder blurb. You can go in after the fact and change it.
Sure. So you're gonna do from the producer. You're gonna open that up.
Yep. So close that on your end, please.
Okay. Yep. I closed it.
Cool. I just put placeholder text in. You can go in afterwards and change that. So.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
RFK Jr. has been nominated to be the Secretary of Health and Human Services.
Very cool.
Wow. Guy who's so against the FDA, all the pharmaceutical
yeah.
companies and everything.
Right.
Oh my.
Hey, make America healthy again, though.
Yeah.
Maha.
Right. Yeah, I think Rachel Levine was doing better. I think someone who doesn't know what gender she is to be the person